Well, life on the farm is kinda laid back. Ain't much an old country boy like me can't hack. It's early to rise, early in the sack. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, a simple kind of life never did me no harm. Raising me a family and working on the farm. My days are all filled with an easy country charm. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a fine wife, I got me old fiddle. When the sun's coming up, I got cakes on the griddle. And life ain't nothing but a funny, funny riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy. When the work's all done and the sun's setting low, I pull out my fiddle and I rosin up the bow. The kids are sweet, so I keep it kind of low. Thank God I'm a country boy. I'd play Sally Gooden all day if I could, but the Lord and my wife wouldn't think it very good. So I fiddle when I can and I work when I should. And thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a fine wife, I got the old fiddle. When the sun's coming up, I got cakes on the griddle. Life ain't nothing but a funny, funny riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy.
rough ahead, and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed. You just remember what your old pal said. Boy, you got a friend in me. Yeah, you got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You got troubles, I've got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We stick together and we see it through. 'Cause you got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too, maybe, but none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's me and you, boy, and as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. Boy, you got a friend in me.
There's no combination of words I could put on the back of a postcard. No song that I could sing, but I can try for your heart. Our dreams, and they are made out of real things, like a shoebox of photographs with sepia tone loving. Love is the answer, at least, for most of the questions in my heart, like why are we here and where do we go, and how come it's so hard? It's not always easy, and sometimes life can be deceiving. I'll tell you one thing, it's always better when we're together. It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars and we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together. Moments just might find their way into my dreams tonight, but I know that they'll be gone when the morning light sings or brings new things. For tomorrow night you see that they'll be gone too. Too many things I have to do, but if all of these dreams might find their way into my day-to-day scene, I'll be under the impression I was somewhere in between, with only two, just me and you. Not so many things we got to do, or places we got to be. We'll sit beneath the mango tree now. Yeah, it's always better when we're together. We're somewhere in between together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together. I believe in memories, they look so pretty when I sleep. Hey, now and when I wake up, you look so pretty sleeping next to me. But there is not enough time. There is no song I could sing, and there is no combination of words I could say, but I will still tell you one thing: we're better together.
Never be so kind, you forget to be clever. Never be so clever, you forget to be kind. And if I didn't know better, I think you were talking to me now. If I didn't know better, I think you were still around. What died didn't stay dead. What died didn't stay dead. You're alive in my head. What died didn't stay dead. What died didn't stay dead. You're alive, so alive. Never be so polite, you forget your power. Never wield such power, you forget to be polite. And if I didn't know better, I think you were listening to me now. If I didn't know better, I think you were still around. What died didn't stay dead. What died didn't stay dead. You're alive in my head. What died didn't stay dead. What died didn't stay dead. You're alive, so alive. The autumn chill that wakes me up. You love the amber sky so much. Long limbs and frozen swims. You'd always go past where our feet could touch. And I complained the whole way there. The car ride back and up the stairs. I should have asked you questions. I should have asked you how to be. Asked you to write it down for me. Should have kept every grocery store receipt, 'cause every scrap of you would be taken from me. Watched as you signed your name, Marjorie. All your closets of backlog dreams, and how you left them all to me. What died didn't stay dead. What died didn't stay dead. You're alive in my head. What died didn't stay dead. What died didn't stay dead. You're alive, so alive. And if I didn't know better, I think you were singing to me now. If I didn't know better, I think you were still around. I know better, but I still feel you all around. I know better, but you're still around.
Well, life on the farm is kinda laid back. Ain't much an old country boy like me can't hack. It's early to rise, early in the sack. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, a simple kind of life never did me no harm. Raising me a family and working on the farm. My days are all filled with an easy country charm. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a fine wife, I got me old fiddle. When the sun's coming up, I got cakes on the griddle. And life ain't nothing but a funny, funny riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy. When the work's all done and the sun's setting low, I pull out my fiddle and I rosin up the bow. The kids are sweet, so I keep it kinda low. Thank God I'm a country boy. I'd play Sally Gooden all day if I could, but the Lord and my wife wouldn't think it very good. So I fiddle when I can and I work when I should. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a fine wife, I got the old fiddle when the sun.
I lift my eyes unto the hills. From where will my help come? My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He will not let your foot be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. He who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. For I am convinced that neither death nor life, nor angels nor rulers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor powers, nor height, nor depth, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God in Christ Jesus our Lord. Welcome to this time. Welcome to this place. You are brought here in the welcome of God, in the one who protects you, who walks with you, and is present to you. We come here to give thanks for a life well lived, for one who is friend, companion, father, grandfather, great-grandfather, for one who lived and touched many. To know Earl is to have an Earl story to tell, at least one. And there is much in Earl to miss. We are together in giving thanks, and we join together in acknowledging grief. For where love resides, so also does loss. And in all of life and living, we give thanks that we are not alone. Thanks be to God. My name is Bryce Miller. I, along with my wife, Emily Taves, serve as the pastors here at Minnow Mennonite Church. And on behalf of the Minnow family and on the Franz family, thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this time of celebration and for being part of what we are doing here together. There's a lot to say and a lot to do, and we're glad to have everyone here. But as we join together, I'd like to draw us together in prayer as we get started. Let's pray together. O Lord our God, you are great and completely to be trusted. You know all about us. You saw us as we were being formed, and you have watched over us all of our days. We thank you that you created life for us to share with others. Today we give thanks for Earl, for the life that he lived, for the joy that he shared, for the ways that he made. We thank you for his gift within family. We thank you that he now resides with you in all that is next. Even as we thank you, we know that we need you to be present to us, to comfort us, to hold us in all things. Now be with us as we celebrate life, acknowledge loss, and seek you always. Give us an awareness of you by our side, and grant us the peace of your presence and the joy of being together for this time, and the anticipation of being together forevermore. We pray this in the name of the one who makes us one, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Hi, I'm Yvonne. I'm the oldest favorite daughter, or favorite oldest daughter. Gail was the favorite middle daughter, and Jeanette here is the favorite youngest daughter. So I'd like to read Dad's obituary. He was born in 1927 on June 12th, and he passed away June 24th of this year. He was 96 and a half. He lived in Kennewick the last few years, formerly of Lind. He was the sixth of 7 children born to Heinrich and Anna Ebert Franz. He married Helen Manchester in 1950 in Colfax, and they had 3 lovely daughters. Following her death in 1998, he married Marjorie Fast Showalter in 2000 in North Newton, Kansas. Earl attended a country grade school, Marlin High School, Bethel College in North Newton, Kansas, and then Whitworth College in Spokane. After attending college, he became a wheat farmer in eastern Washington, south of Lind, managing the Arthur Franz Farm. In 1998, he became a member of the National Piano Technicians Guild, which he enjoyed as a sideline. 7 years ago, along with his dog, the famous Pebbles, he moved into Solstice Independent Living in Kennewick. He was brought up in the Mennonite Church here and joined by baptism as a teenager. He served 6 years as deacon, 4 years as secretary of the church board, and 10 years as treasurer. And I really liked him having that job, because then we would take all of the coins from Sunday school and church, because people gave coins then. We'd go home, and after lunch, he let me help him count them. And that was a fun job. He enjoyed singing in the church choir and in men's groups. He also taught various Sunday school classes over the years. Dad published a hardcover autobiography in 2011, recording many of the events in his life, and also his evolving philosophy. The title of the book, A Pebble in the Water, reflects the idea of being a positive influence in people's lives. And I just brought my copy. Earl had many passions. He loved music, many kinds. He listened to classical pieces, and he played the violin, the piano, and the harmonica. He loved traveling to many countries around the world. He loved nature, flowers, gardening, trees, and all animals. He loved farming, each season of the year a delight. He loved being an artist, creating crazy animal creatures, a 7-foot-tall hired man, and a grand piano, all out of discarded machinery parts. He loved sports, especially tennis, baseball, basketball, and ping pong. He loved reading, astronomy, geology, sports, farming, politics, and westerns. He loved building things, farming adaptations as needed, a unique playground for we three girls and our friends, including a merry-go-round and a tree house, along with the swings and seesaw and glider and monkey bars. He loved to laugh, keeping a list of jokes written very tiny in his wallet. He was preceded in death by his parents, his three older brothers, Herbert, Harold, and Alvin, his three sisters, Alice Franz, Edna Dahlke, Bernice Crable, both wives, Helen and Marjorie, one daughter, Gail Hudson, one granddaughter, Sydney Filan, and one great-granddaughter, Haley Red Elves. Earl is survived by two daughters, Jeanette and myself. We live in Texas. She lives in the Tri-Cities. He has 6 grandchildren, Jamie, Clint, Megan, Tony, Miranda, and Jessica. And then 11 great-grandchildren, Ben, Gracie, Jackson, Kennedy, Aubrey, Sam, Landon, Zoe, Edwin, Scarlett, and Vaughn, who all loved him dearly. In keeping with his desire to make the world a better place, Dad has donated his body for medical research. We are having this service in here, and then afterwards we'll have a light dinner in the big room over there. I forgot what you call it. Okay, and if you'd like to, in his honor, you can donate to the Mennonite Disaster Service.
Favorite youngest daughter, Jeanette, right here. Well, Yvonne really summed it all up, but I just have to say just a few more things about Dad that just really was always really amazing to me. One thing that I was always really respected about him was that he was so optimistic. And I just, no matter what would happen, he'd always see the good side of it, or a better way of looking at it, or some good words of wisdom on that. Again, I wanted to, as I look out at everybody, it's just so great to see the friends, the family, everyone that knew Dad and honored to honor him and remember him. As he was called, Dad, Gramps, Gigi, Uncle Earl, and the Earl of Lind. The thing about him being so optimistic, I was analyzing always, was that I think that he had really not always had things so easy. Being he was born in 1927, and he survived through the Depression. He didn't have a father. His dad died when he was 8 years old. So he and his brothers had to work very hard. He suffered from severe hay fever and severe allergies, which were really hard for him. He was also bullied. He was extremely shy, believe it or not. And he also just has been through a lot of tragedy. a lot of car wrecks, and he had a lot of farm injuries as well, including breaking his hand in 5 places one time by, leaving the tractor going and getting off so you could maybe get a weed or 2 out the back. But he set his hand down, where the chain comes over the sprocket and whatever, gears and stuff. And as he watched his hand and glove get caught in there and it go over and that chain completely just breaking his hand in 5 pieces. Oh, and Yvonne says, and that was right before his wedding. Yeah. A mom always got so mad at him for all his injuries. She'd just go, oh, she'd just be kind of disgusted with all the things that happened. And he also fell off of a hay bale, broke his femur really bad. But he always ended up being really good friends with the doctors, and he always kept every piece of hardware that they ever put in his body and kept it to show everybody all the time. He could draw pictures of it, and which he was, yes, a very good artist too. He really could make little tiny amazing pictures of things. He also survived, with their house burning down to the ground when they were really young, and they didn't have a whole lot to begin with, and they lost absolutely everything except for 2 of their kids, and but they lost their pets, all their treasures that they saved of their wedding, and all that burnt to the ground. So what was weird about growing up is I thought this was normal, but he always had us practice getting out of our windows in our bedrooms. And I thought every family did that, right? But I guess not. But we always had to practice getting the screens out, how to open it, and what would you do when you got out, to jump out because of a fire. And we had to practice with the fire extinguisher all the time. Yeah, so I thought that was normal, but I don't know. Anyway, and just to say, he also worked extremely hard his whole life, and he worked really 2 jobs with the piano tuning and farming 6 days a week, and somehow he still found time to build all that stuff and create stuff and read a story to us in the morning for devotions and keep us laughing and always happy. And he was just a real busy guy. I don't know where he got the energy. I didn't get all that. Not so much. Huh? You say I do, but oh no. Anyway, yes, and Yvonne mentioned how much he really loved learning. It was just something that was so important to him to keep learning, and for us to go to college, even though it was hard for them to probably find the money for that. That was so important for us to continue our education. And with that, we just saw him reading all kinds of books all the time, and particularly went through an obsession for a while about Carl Sagan. We even got him a T-shirt that said Carl Sagan for president, because he read almost every book on that because he was fascinated with the universe and all that perspective. He was a great girl dad. He was like the best at just listening, and he didn't really give a lot of advice. He just listened, and he'd always say, I think you'll probably make the right decision. I believe in you. I trust you. And that is a heavy guilt trip. Because, you wanted to live up to Earl's expectations, because he really expected for us to live how he taught us to live with a Christian lifestyle. I mean, as far as, being a humanitarian and being kind to others and walking the walk that was taught, not just saying, that we were Christian, but actually acting like it and being, good with other people and for people. And that's just the way he taught us to be. So apparently, he always trusted us. So anyway, I think I said all that. What else? Oh, I just wanted to make a couple of little announcements, like don't forget to sign the guest list if you didn't get a chance to do that yet. make sure you take a look at the memory table that Jamie put together, and enjoy the music. I put together a playlist of all the different kinds of music Dad really liked, and he was really into, Yvonne said, like classical and that. He really got into Les Miserables, and he really got into Phantom of the Opera, and we had to listen to everything about those stories. I mean, what it was about and the deeper meaning behind it, and not to mention his obsession with the Great Missoula floods. If anybody's been around Earl and in the car with Earl, you had to look outside all the time to see the layers. Look, girls, at the layers in the rock. Just imagine how that rock got there, and look this way. And it just like, when we were teenagers, I mean, and then it just never stopped. It never stopped. He was really obsessed with that. Anyway, I was going to say the last 6 months were getting hard for him. He was having so much back pain and so much hip pain and having to take a lot of medicine for that, and they couldn't quite get things corrected. But he slowly wasn't able to walk anymore. Got to a power chair, which he loved, driving that around. But then he fell right before Christmas, and he just never quite could get his legs back after that. He could never really quite walk again. So they put him in rehab, and he tried his hardest, and he'd walk maybe this much further every day. But he got to the point, he really just didn't want to wake up again. He was just kind of done. He was okay with that. So he did, finally, we said, okay, no more physical therapy. He's done with that. And he got to have another big Diet Pepsi that way because they were limiting his fluids. He was so happy to get that Diet Pepsi and be done with that physical therapy. And anyway, so then he basically passed away about the next day. Yeah. So he went so peacefully, and we played his favorite music to him. And so it was just how he wanted to do things. So that was comfort to me because I was dreading his death my whole life. So the last thing was one of his favorite sayings, which really speaks to Earl's beliefs, was, do all the good you can do in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, in all the times that you can, to all the people you can, as long as you ever can. And he really lived that. I will say one last thing too. He was the last of all the double cousins in the Franz Ewert family, and that meant that there were three, Yvonne will help me with this, 3 Ewert sisters that married 3 Franz brothers, and they were all from South Dakota. And then they had there was 14 altogether, I think, double cousins. They all looked quite a bit alike. But anyway, so Dad was the last to go. And anyway, he was always really proud of having all those double cousins, anyway. And then, Yvonne said, all the grandkids and great-grandkids. And he always, he really had a special relationship with each person. I mean, even probably each of all of you, you felt like Earl, he got you, you got him. He just had a way of really relating to people. And I just really respect that and his optimism, always. He was always very, very a positive person, no matter how bad things got. He always found the bright side. So anyway, just remember that. This is Damon's first cousin, Kathy, and they got to be pretty
have no idea why he liked this song.
I don't know why he liked this song either, but he always said, I want you to sing this song. It's some kind of hymn that he liked, and, so, what? Oh, they sung it at all the funerals he grew up going.
Oh, that's why.
So, there's that.
Anyway, I first got to know him when I'd go visit Damon and Jeanette, and I just remember one thing he always used to say. He would say, "You're here again? Do you live here?" He was a great guy, though. Shall we gather at the river where bright angel feet have trod, with its crystal tide forever flowing by the throne of God? Yes, we'll gather at the river, the beautiful river, gather with the saints at the river that flows by the throne of God. Ere we reach the shining river, lay we every burden down. Grace our spirits will deliver and provide a robe and crown. Yes, we'll gather at the river, the beautiful river, gather with the saints at the river that flows by the throne of God. Soon we'll reach the silver river, soon our pilgrimage will cease, soon our happy hearts will quiver with the melody of peace. Shall we gather at the river, the beautiful river, gather with the saints at the river that flows by the throne of God.
I'm gonna play a ballade by Frederick Bergmuller, because Gigi, he was always so encouraging to me with my piano, and he's the one that gave us our piano and got me started.
If you ever get the chance to read through Earl's autobiography, you hear a lot of some of these stories that you heard in reference today. But you also hear again and again and again the same story of being impressed by those around him who modeled a way of life and a faith that was meant to be lived and incarnated. And he holds out a number of texts that do that work of incarnation. And this is one of them. It's the start of Jesus' ministry according to Matthew. And it's the Beatitudes. I'm going to be reading from Matthew 5, verses 1 through 13. When Jesus saw the crowds, he went up to the mountain, and after he sat down, his disciples came to him. Then he began to speak and taught them, saying, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people revile you and persecute you, and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven, for in the same way they persecuted the prophets who are before you. You are the salt of the earth, but if salt has lost its taste, how can its saltiness be restored? When somebody describes you as the salt of the earth, for the most part, they don't know that they are quoting the Bible. At least, I'm guessing, not consciously. It's one of those many phrases that have gone from an original context of, well, you just heard it, to, well, it's just what you say. They're good folks. Plain, ordinary, they're salt of the earth. Fundamentally reliable with a foundational identity that we value. All that is good and stable. To stretch the metaphor a little bit, they are people similar to comfort food. Which is all well and good, but I think it misses the point, at least the original point, in many respects. I think we can say this of Earl. Earl was salt of the earth. And he had those qualities of being salt of the earth, but in a more biblical sense of the term. Because where we find it in its biblical context, the meaning here is that they are ones who bear witness to the reality of God with us and lend their flavor to the world first and foremost. He knew well that life was meant to be lived, and through plenty times and trials, he did exactly that, and loved as fully and forthrightly as he knew how. He sought to model a way of life that held the virtues of the kingdom as real for now. And these blessings were not ideals of the by and by, but to be lived in the kingdom already here. Not just the kingdom yet to be. And he speaks time and again of the pebbles whose waves touched him and the ways that he would like to do the same. And I think we can say that it is so. To rephrase the scripture just a little bit, I think we might say of Earl, he was a spice of the earth. And know well what that means. On one of my last visits with Earl, he greeted me with his natural inquisitiveness. And before I even had my coat off through the door, he said, "Bryce, it's nice to meet you. Why do you think I'm still here?" And the only response I was managing is, "Earl, you're here because we're lucky." This is not voicing a sense of despair or longing to go home from the rehab facility back to the familiar confines that he was accustomed to. He was wondering aloud why he remained when he was ready for what was next, whatever that happened to be. He was ready to go on. And we spent a good deal of time figuring out, well, what do you think that might look like? And for the record, we established that we think that however the hereafter is shaped, he can probably get Gonzaga. And I think he'll be happy today. He was ready to see what was awaited him as he now sees it, and he now tastes it fully. And he was confident in the goodness of God's love that held him fast and that would meet him in whatever it was that was next. He was ready, and that was good. And there's a lot to miss in Earl, but I think we can also release him into that. Yvonne, Jeanette, Jeff, Damon, all of you as family, we know that you miss him dearly and that you will miss him. It's never a bad thing to say, we're sorry, and we are grieving. For grieving is never a denial of the sweetness of life so much as it is a testament to wishing that that sweetness could somehow be captured and held, even when we know it is to be released. And we join you in missing Earl and hold you as you do the work of grief in the months and years yet to come. Yet I submit that this lesson for life and living has one more layer. We can speak that this is what Earl knew and how Earl lived. And he flavored life well. His influence, large and small, is known here today in the memories of the stories that we share, of simply being together, of having something to celebrate. I always wonder whether it was at the geology of Eastern Washington or the latest astronomical discovery, he was most in awe at the ripples of influence that flowed all around him and changed him. And he hoped that he could do the same. He spoke with admiration of those who set out faith for him, those who came along beside him in good times and bad, and of people who shaped him. I think he would add to it, and now, having been so shaped, go and do likewise, and offer your spice to the world. We are invited to do this not out of duty to a certain way or to follow particular rules or to accomplish a given goal, but rather to make real the blessings of the teachings of love to all who would come and see. To say that we have been loved and what we get the love in return. And that is good. That's what filled him with wonder most of all, knowing the impacts of what was and what we cannot see. And I think we would do well to honor that in Earl as we live our impacts and our flavor in our lives. We celebrate the flavor that Earl lent our lives and our world, even as we are inspired to go and spice the world ourselves. This is what Earl received from those who went before him. And this is how he knew life was for all who was around him. And this fully is what he wanted to leave behind as the ways that continue on without him. And in this, we can only be thankful, even as we know that we will miss him dearly. Thanks be to God that we have been so flavored. Amen. By way of enjoying memory together, a slideshow has been carefully pieced together, and we'd like to see it together.
Well, life on the farm is kinda laid back. Ain't much an old country boy like me can't hack. It's early to rise, early in the sack. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, a simple kind of life never did me no harm. Raising me a family and working on the farm. My days are all filled with an easy country charm. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a fine wife, I got me old fiddle. When the sun's coming up, I got cakes on the griddle. And life ain't nothing but a funny, funny riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy. When the work's all done and the sun's setting low, I pull out my fiddle and I rosin up the bow. The kids are sweet, so I keep it kind of low. Thank God I'm a country boy. I'd play Sally Gooden all day if I could, but the Lord and my wife wouldn't think it very good. So I fiddle when I can and I work when I should. And thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a fine wife, I got the old fiddle. When the sun's coming up, I got cakes on the griddle. Life ain't nothing but a funny, funny riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said. Boy, you got a friend in me. Yeah, you got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You got troubles, I've got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We stick together and we see it through. 'Cause you got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too, maybe, but none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's me and you, boy, and as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You got a friend. You've got a friend in me. Boy, you got a friend in me.
There's no combination of words I could put on the back of a postcard. No song that I could sing, but I can try for your heart. And our dreams, and they are made out of real things, like a shoebox of photographs with sepia tone loving. Love is the answer, at least, for most of the questions in my heart. Like, why are we here and where do we go? And knock on me so hard. It's not always easy, and sometimes life can be deceiving. I'll tell you one thing, it's always better when we're together. It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars and we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together. Moments just might find their way into my dreams tonight, but I know that they'll be gone when the morning light sings or brings new things. For tomorrow night you see that they'll be gone too. Too many things I have to do, but if all of these dreams might find their way into my day-to-day scene, I'd be under the impression I was somewhere in between, with only two, just me and you. Not so many things we got to do, or places we got to be. We'll sit beneath the mango tree now. Yeah, it's always better when we're together. We're somewhere in between together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together. I believe in memories, they look so pretty when I sleep. Hey, now and when I wake up, you look so pretty, sleeping next to me. But there is not enough time, there is no song I could sing, and there is no combination of words I could say, but I will still tell you one thing, we're better together.
Never be so kind, you forget to be clever. Never be so clever, you forget to be kind. And if I didn't know better, I think you were talking to me now. If I didn't know better, I think you were still around. What died didn't stay dead. What died didn't stay dead. You're alive in my head. What died didn't stay dead. What died didn't stay dead. You're alive, so alive. Be so polite, you forget your power. Never wield such power, you forget to be polite. chill that wakes me up. You love the amber sky so much. Long limbs and frozen swims. You'd always go past where our feet could touch. And I complained the whole way there. The car ride back and up the stairs. I should have asked you questions. I should have asked you how to be. Asked you to write it down for me. Should have kept every grocery store receipt, 'cause every scrap of you would be taken from me. Watched as you signed your name, Marjorie. All your closets of backlog dreams, and how you left them all to me. What died didn't stay dead. What died didn't stay dead. You're alive in my head. What died didn't stay dead. What died didn't stay dead. You're alive, so alive. And if I didn't know better, I think you were singing to me now. If I didn't know better, I think you were still around. I know better, but I still feel you all around. I know.
Thank you to all who put that together. Much to celebrate. Our time together is coming to a close, or at least shifting gears. Please stay. Please come and enjoy the picnic. And gather around the table and share your stories and laugh together. All are welcome. To get there, you just follow the hallway around and listen for the sound of food and laughter. I'll ask a blessing along our way as we anticipate being dismissed. Thank you again for each attending, for celebrating Earl, and being part of this day. There's much to give thanks for. Let's join in prayer. O God, in whom we trust, you give us life full of flavor, grace, and love. Thank you for Earl, for the life he lived, for the love he shared, for the world he witnessed to, already here, yet not fully. Thank you that you hold him fully and finally in your will and your way. We give you thanks for that. Grant us each courage to flavor the world that you love, trusting in your promise that there is no place that we can be that you are not. Grant us faith to seek first the kingdom of your reality, making real God with us now and always. Comfort us in our mourning. Inspire us in our laughing. Bring us always to you, come what may. Bless us as we join together around the table, enjoying the gifts of food and fellowship. May this time and these memories and your grace be to your glory. May all this come to be in your blessing and your time. Amen. Stand and receive a blessing. And I will ask that we let the family proceed first down the center aisle and then follow on after. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the very face of God shine upon you and give you each peace as you flavor the world and reflect all that God is doing. Go in peace. Be seated as we dismiss.
May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others, let others do for you. May you build a ladder to the sky, climb on every rung, and may you stay forever young. May you grow up to be righteous. May you grow up to be true. May you always know the truth and see the light surrounding you. May you always be courageous, stand upright and be strong, and may you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. May your heart always be joyful, your song always be sung, and may you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true, and may you stay forever young.
Well, life on the farm is kinda laid back. Ain't much an old country boy like me can't hack. It's early to rise, early in the sack. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, a simple kind of life never did me no harm. Raising me a family and working on the farm. My days are all filled with an easy country charm. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a fine wife, I got me old fiddle. When the sun's coming up, I got cakes on the griddle. And life ain't nothing but a funny, funny riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy. When the work's all done and the sun's setting low, I pull out my fiddle and I rosin up the bow. The kids are sweet, so I keep it kinda low. Thank God I'm a country boy. I'd play Sally Gooden all day if I could, but the Lord and my wife wouldn't think it very good. So I fiddle when I can and I work when I should. And thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a fine wife, I got the old fiddle. When the sun's coming up, I got cakes on the griddle. Life ain't nothing but a fun